Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. The big thing today, apparently, they say, is the sentencing of Halk Bank of Turkey cooperator Zarab. It was a big case, but it all came to naught. After round and round, finally, the Justice Department just decided to drop the case, even in the midst of the conflict with Iran. Violating Iran sanctions is understandable, and Turkey's help in Gaza, whatever it was, seems to merit the dropping. So now the cooperator. Now, we wrote about this guy because he also, part of the sentencing memo, he's going to get time served, I'm predicting that right now, was that he was threatened in the MDC for having upset big people in Turkey. That would be Erdogan and some others. Anyway, 11 a.m., we should be able to be live tweeting that, so I'm happy to say that. Now, yesterday, the Polymarket guy, the guy who traded on Polymarket from Google about the most Googled person of the year, was in court. He's an Italian citizen, Spagnolo. He was living in Geneva, happened to be in the U.S. on vacation when they arrested him. The thing about him going to trial is that he's now here without any status. His tourist visa has expired. So his lawyers told Judge Torres, she said, well, can't you solve this? And the prosecutor said, well, we can't really solve that. It's a different part of the executive branch. If he gets picked up by ICE, they're going to make an emergency application. But who knows? Maybe he'll be in Louisiana by then. I don't mean to be flip. It's a worlds collide. That's all I can say. We also did a story, I'm sorry to say, I'm embarrassed to say, about the Blake Lively case, in which she's asking for $8 million in attorney's fees in the otherwise dismissed case. They finally filed their opposition. The opposition is that it's too vague. It's too much money and it's too vague. The part we focused in is the sealed part, where it says we talked to XX about XX and XX. Like, no, they have a right to oppose the fees. They have a right to know what it was. There's no longer, the case is over. So we'll see. I'm not going to do an unsealing on that, but we have had some unsealing victories. Yes, in the Eastern District, Judge Kuntz, we wrote to him and said, U.S. versus sealed doesn't cut it. U.S. versus sealed doesn't cut it. And he said, yes, they have to respond. And yesterday there was a notice of appearance for John Doe, for Mr. Sealed. Who is it? The guy's name is Robert Radick of Morvillo Abramovitz, but he was also used to be the head of, or work in, public corruption for EDNY. So this is a white-collar case. Who is John Doe? Who is John Doe? Now, on the financial/FOIA front, we did a FOIA for Coastal Bend. It's a small bank in Texas, but they're punching above their weight. Their argument is that some internal Fed memo of April 2026, a clear Mickey Bowman. In fact, the memo even talks about Mickey Bowman. That would be Michelle Bowman. That she said to them, if a rating can be relied on, don't do any more work. So they've taken that to mean that there's essentially a Community Reinvestment Act safe harbor. Of course, everyone opposed that. It doesn't exist. So we FOIA'd everything about the memo, and we were told, well, that's not really related to the application. We can't give you expedited treatment. So then we agreed to bifurcate the two, but now they're saying they need an extension even on the other part of Coastal Bend. So it goes with the Fed. The clock is ticking for them to actually have to put up or shut up on our Inova FOIA lawsuit. Finally, at the United Nations, let's keep on the sock puppet. We asked yesterday, not only the UN spokesperson, Stefan Dujarric, but also IAEA spokespeople about an IAEA rule saying that staff cannot campaign. And it's either Grossi himself with the sock puppet account, Soli, or someone very close to Grossi. So the noose begins to tighten on the sock puppet. To be continued. We're going in, 11 a.m., Halk Bank.